The Red Pill Phone Tap
Back at it again.
is back. I know season 2 has been a little challenging for some of our fans out there. Don't worry, guys. We're getting it together. We're trying to do, honestly, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to follow the wisdom of Anthony here, the other host on this program, and trying to get this content a lot more streamlined for you guys, especially if you guys want to go back and listen, because Anthony, you and I do that quite a bit, don't we? I mean, you were just telling me about a Black Phillip episode that we have both probably heard like 7 times, and you're like, man, I had to go back and listen to this one part. You should go back too for this segment. You know what I mean? So we're trying to make that content a lot better, guys. So, you know, bear with us. I know change is hard for everybody, but we're trying to change for the better. We're trying to make the content a lot more dense as well. So, Anthony, how have you been, man? It's been a little bit of time since we had a last episode. How have things been out there in the dating world?
Man, it's pretty COVID out here. I'm not. It's no different than what it is. You got another layer of a pandemic on top of it, but you adapt, man. When you are in something like when you're in the middle of a war and the way you used to fight, or let's say you plan to fight, what you practice, and now you got to change because the terrain was different because of nature changed it.
Yeah.
Then you just adapt. You don't be like, well, damn it, we didn't practice for this, so man, let's just stop. Let's just quit and go home. No, you can't do that. So,
can't do that in a war, can you?
Nope. So
no, sir.
Go ahead and adapt, do the best you can, and then write a book about your challenges afterwards.
I'm glad that you're talking about adaptation right now, because this episode is going to be a little bit different. We were saying here in the pre-show that this is going to be kind of like Thanksgiving inspired, because it's always a good Thanksgiving when the drunk uncle shows up. He's got a "Make America Great Again" hat on, right, Anthony? There can't be a Thanksgiving without some sort of family struggle, right? But hopefully you get through the struggle, you still love each other, you still come back next Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, tonight's going to be a little bit different, and if you want to blame somebody, blame me. This segment is my idea. This segment is all going to be about what you guys do that frustrate us, ? Or is it just me, Anthony? Do you want to take some of this ownership?
I don't get frustrated by shit that I expect to happen. It's when if I get upset, it's because you told me you was going to do something you didn't do.
Oh, okay. So then you can take ownership.
But I didn't tell anybody to do shit. So I'm going to concede something that somebody else can't do to you on this topic, and then let you have it.
I can take it because I'm very, very passionate about this. And the analogy that I gave you on the phone this week was if I was a golf coach, right? And then you and I would spend hours with me telling you how to swing this golf club, right? And then I'm like, and guys, if you've ever managed any people in your life, you've ever been a manager, right? You can always break down your employees into 3 things: knowledge, skill, attitude. Knowledge, skill, attitude. And I like the analogy of golf because you could read 7 books about how to swing a golf club. But until you go out on the range and do it thousands of times, you'll never be good at it. There's a difference between knowledge and skill. And we're going to talk a little bit about attitude, but really what we're going to be focusing on here, guys, is knowledge versus skill. You guys can know how to do all this shit, but until you go out and take your thousands and thousands of swings, you're never going to be Tiger Woods. Okay? So the analogy I gave you on the phone this week, Anthony, was I will leave. I'll tell people exactly what they should do, which is what? Get their rotation going, right?
Yeah.
Tell them exactly how to swing this club. And then I'll walk away and I'll leave the golf bag there. And I'll be like, work on this club this many times, work on that club this many times, work on that club. I leave a basket of balls, 500 balls in the basket. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to leave. I can't be here every time you swing the club. So I'm going to leave. Just make sure, keep hitting the ball out. Just work on what we talked about. And then while I'm gone, I'll get calls from these same guys. Hey, man, you know what? I appreciate what you're telling me. But check it out. Like, do I want to drop my head? And we'll go into some very sophisticated swing conversations. They might even ask me, like, if I get down in a bunker, like, do I swing the same way through that? And then, Anthony, I swear to God, when I come back, no golf clubs, no golf balls. They've got a mallet and they're smashing watermelons like Gallagher. They're not doing anything that resembles what the fuck I told them to do. It drives me insane. But they'll steady be asking me, like, super sophisticated rotation questions. And then I come back. All right, how many girls in your rotation? Oh, I haven't started that shit yet. Just not doing anything that resembles what I instructed them to do. Come back, no golf clubs, no golf balls. There's a broom and some grapefruit. And they're scooting grapefruit down the fairway. Like, it doesn't even resemble what the fuck I said. It drives me insane, Anthony. Am I too hard on these guys? What's my problem, Anthony?
Man, it's almost like what I view female nature as. Even though I don't like it, I expect it. So it's par for the course.
Yeah.
I still, even though it happens, I know I'm not gonna like it, but it's just that's the reality. And I know you didn't fucking, when you became red pill, like, boom, you was all red pill, right? So when you are left to your own devices, you go back to your default, your baseline, what you're comfortable with. And you still try to implement, well, maybe I can blend in some of what I'm learning with what I was successful with. And maybe I can still make it work. But then when it's not actually working, you're like, hey, I shitted in my pants and I just wanted to show you what happened. And you're like, wait, what? Wait, what do you mean?
I had a moment when you were just saying that just now. I'm like, God damn, this motherfucker's so wise when he talks. That's exactly what it is. They're like, they think they can take some of my shit a la carte, mix it with some of this old shit that they learned wrong, and then juggle these balls all together and get good results. I'll tell you why I'm passionate about it. The whole reason we put this podcast together is because we're trying to lift men up, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll help them lift themselves. Well,
right.
You know, because we can only go so far. There's nothing I can do. I'm not gonna be on a date with you. I'm not gonna push you into it or make you kiss her. It's nothing that I'm gonna be able to do for you that you're not able to do for yourself. So I'm only gonna be able to say, hey, the ability to do what you want is available to you. You can have what you desire, and there's ways of getting it. Let me show you how. Yeah. And let me tell you the steps to take and the steps to avoid. So that is what we're able to give you. We can't turn the corner for you. That corner is going to be turned by yourself. So I'll love to, because I've gotten calls, I've gotten I'll get hit up on DMs about successes, and there's a guy named Carlos that real early in the Red Pill Phone Tap, very early, and this guy is killing it.
Really?
With just life, man. And he was living in the valley. He was afraid to make a move. And I told him, I said, look, man, you're young enough to be able to make mistakes and recover from them. That's one of the things that I was not told enough of when I was young. I figured I had to figure shit out and everything had to play out perfectly at a young age. I just had to make the right steps.
Well, because that's what they probably taught you in the public school system, right?
Right.
You don't pass this math test, you'll never get into Harvard, and then your life's fucked forever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I said, look, man, go out, make the mistakes, but guess what? You're going to have you're going to be such a more interesting person in life just because of you had the gall to just go out there and see if what you wanted to do was what you should have done. So, my fault. So I was like, he called back, told me how much he's been traveling because of the job he took and how much money he was making, all the chicks that he was slaying left and right because it was just easy to do while you're just focusing on yourself. The chicks show up all of a sudden, right? So it was like, okay. I said, I'm loving this shit. But he still has some questions about certain scenarios, what should be, how do you take this step? And those are the calls I love. Okay. You out here doing shit and you still have some questions, but you're making mistakes, but I love that you're making mistakes. You're actually making mistakes. But you're making mistakes doing something, right?
That's what I was about to say.
You're in the middle of, you're fucking up, but you're doing it.
Right. You're fucking up, but you're getting the skill attached to the knowledge that I'm giving you. Mm-hmm. I leave you with a golf bag with golf clubs in it and a bag of balls. And I'm like, just make the mistakes, swinging it, but just do what I'm telling you to do. And then I come back, and you've got, like, a duck, a puppy, and a walkie-talkie, and you're throwing baseballs out into the range. I'm just saying, it doesn't resemble anything what I fucking told you to do. So there's a difference between making mistakes, doing, like, actually having the golf club in your hand, hitting the balls out there. I don't care if you slice to the right, slice to the left. I don't care if you can't hit the goddamn golf ball out of your shadow. But take those fucking golf clubs and that golf ball and do what I told you, or don't ask me for any more advice. I swear to God, dude, it drives me fucking insane. Because, like I said, I mean, the best analogy is I leave them with a golf bag, golf clubs, golf balls. I come back and they're smashing watermelons with a mallet like Gallagher, thinking that they're resembling anything I fucking told them to do. And how much money have I made off of coaching in my life, Anthony? $0. And it just, when you are not doing anything that resembles what I'm asking you to do to improve your life, because you came to me, right? You came to me. What do I do, Wes? And I come back and you just turned into a Gallagher stand-up comedy act instead of playing golf. But what drives me crazy, Anthony, what drives me crazy is I come back and they're Gallaghering watermelons, and they'll ask me the most complex golf questions. What if the wind is crossing at 5 miles an hour? I'm like, motherfucker, you haven't even picked up the clubs and fucking hit any balls. Why are you asking me all these complex questions about running a rotation when you don't even have a 2-girl rotation? You don't even have a 1-girl rotation. Well, I mean, I want to keep my standards high. No, bro. No, you're going like high-level rotation shit where we're like, hey, you got to change your standards. In the beginning, you just need to get 5 warm bodies. Let me repeat that.
One girl is not a rotation. By the way.
Yes. One girl is you're going to get attached. You're going to get the bitch pregnant. You're going to be stuck with this bitch. You're going to lose. And again, we've said this on other podcasts, but it bears repeating because we're going to be talking about rotations a lot in 2021, guys. If rotations is not your thing, then don't tune into the show in 2021 because Anthony and I are going to come in hard on this because this is the big thing that you guys are missing. Okay? Guys, I'm kind of Mr. Miyagiing this rotation shit to you guys. I'm telling you do this rotation shit, but I'm not necessarily telling you all the shit you're learning while doing the rotation. You're learning so much shit about women and about yourself and about the standard of woman you can get, what you will put up with, what you won't put up with. You're learning how to throttle back your time with bitches because you got 5. Mm-hmm. It's easy to do. You're eventually going to have to do this if you get into an LTR, long-term relationship. If you get into an LTR, you're eventually going to have to throttle time with her. I mean, you just witnessed tonight. I wouldn't say my wife came out of pocket, but it happened a few minutes ago where she's like, well, I did the ice like this, and it made the most sense when I'm trying to put water in my drink. And I'm like, somehow I fucking got water in a cup before I met you. You know what I mean? Just like that whole, like you've got to be able to like instinctively check back. They're checking you. Hey, you're not getting ice out of the freezer correctly. Oh, really? Really? Good thing I met you. Now I know how to fucking put water in a cup. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to do this instinctively, but until you guys have your 5-girl rotation, you're not going to get these skills. You can have all this knowledge, but you'll never have the skills necessary to take control of your life. And I'm passionate about it, Anthony.
It's real easy to talk about what you would do.
Yeah.
Right? Because everything's in this perfect scenario. Nothing really is disturbed when you're playing this out in your mind. But like with anything, with life, things don't play out exactly the way you planned them. So now, are you good at what you do? Or you think you're good at what you do? So, and being good at what you do, this is why companies, when they hire people, they're looking for experience.
Yeah.
They ask you, hey, if you was in this, tell me about a time you was in this situation. They want to see, can you adapt? What do you do when you're faced with, when you're confronted with any kind of contention or negative reactions, and can you stay cool under pressure? How are you emotional? What is your response when it comes to? Because basically, you're a part of the company, and are you going to be a liability to this company based on how you respond in these interactions? So when we talk about relationships with women or interacting with women multiple times in multiple situations like rotations, we're asking you be okay experiencing shit that you have not experienced before, because it's not about the experience today. It's about the experience down the fucking road.
Thank you. I couldn't have said that better. I couldn't have said that better. You were telling me a fascinating, and to you it wasn't even fascinating. This was just life for you. But you were telling me a story about when you were in the Navy, and whenever you load a ship, and you could tell that this was just automatic for you because you had all the specific terms down. You're like, this is what we call an all hands on deck situation. And we use that term all hands on deck in society, but it doesn't mean what you were saying. It was like, no, literally every man.
Yeah.
And every man has to be there. When a helicopter comes in with supplies, you guys create, what do they call it? A daisy chain or whatever they call it. Yeah. I mean, but you've got every guy in a line and they just pass stuff down.
Yeah.
But you said something that fascinated me. You were like, well, the thing about it is when we get supplies and when we're loading supplies, it's an all hands on deck situation. We got to get it through it really, really quickly because the ship is very vulnerable during this time because nobody's like at their battle stations. People are not in their normal places.
Right.
And I was like, God damn, I never thought of that. I never thought, like, when a supply run comes in, it's the most vulnerable that the ship can be out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And you were even saying, like, officers, chief petty officers, like, they had to be part of this too. And I was like, God damn it. That's fucking brilliant. But I guarantee you someone didn't just come up with this brilliant idea.
No.
This came from the experience that some motherfuckers got attacked
right
during this shit one time. And they're like, okay, that'll never happen again. From now on, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
You know,
if you can knock out a ship, a supply run in 20 minutes versus an hour, that gives your enemy 40 less minutes to attack you.
Right.
That's a ton of fucking time. That's a ton of fucking time.
Well, yeah, I took what the Navy said, but then I kind of put my own little spin on it. And no, guys. No, like I said, in the spirit of this being like a Thanksgiving dinner with you guys and us, I wanted to have a segment about this is what you guys do that drives me absolutely insane sometimes. You literally are not even resembling what we've suggested you guys should do. You guys will be like, using, if you guys are familiar with automotives, you guys are asking me, like, how do you disconnect the transmission from the engine? I mean, do you want to get the flywheel? Do you want to, like, and then I find out you motherfuckers never even popped the hood on a car. And you're asking me all these fucking complex questions. You've got me jumping from one fucking lily pad to the next. I'm like, well, hold on a second. Let me draw from my life experience here. Well, actually, when you do that, and then find out you motherfuckers don't even have a rotation. But Anthony, it doesn't stop them from asking me all these complex rotation questions when they don't even have a rotation. Don't even have one. Let me say something very clear about rotations, and we're going to repeat this many times this year and in 2021. Having no girls is better than having one.
Yes.
Yes. Having 0 girl rotation is better than having a 1 girl rotation.
Some of them ain't going to believe you.
Yeah, they don't believe me. And I know you got to start somewhere, guys. But that's why we have these rules in place that you only see them once a week.
I would definitely, if I had one chick and that's not the one I want, I will get rid of her quickly.
Because you're going to make dumb decisions if you have a 1 girl rotation.
Yes, and I'm a be dependent on if she's going to do something.
Yeah.
And I had someone just told me that they wanted to meet up with me tomorrow. But if I just plan my life around that one moment, and I didn't, I made other plans, and they told me, oh, I might have to reschedule. I would be all up in arms right now. Right. I didn't do anything else. I just planned for you, and now you're rescheduling. And then she gonna be like, he's crazy.
Yeah. And at the very least, she's going to say scarcity mindset.
Well, yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm the only thing that he had planned for, and that quickly goes in her head as she's more valuable than you.
100%. And they don't even have that conscious thought, guys.
No, it's not a conscious thought. It's just the way you're reacting is going to tell them that, oh, shit, well, the way he's acting, I'm more valuable than him. Or he shouldn't be doing all that. You know, why is he acting like that? Or if she feels guilty, like she don't like feeling guilty that she's making, she's like, well, look, things happen. Like, I remember doing that too, man. Like, I was always the guy, like, trying to make her feel guilty and shit. But shit, I was always.
Is there anything weaker than that?
No, it's so fucking horrible, man. I'm so happy. Man, people don't understand, man. I defend being red pill to the highest point because who I was before was sad, man, sad. So when anybody try to challenge me that being red pill is like being a jerk, a dick, an asshole, or a male chauvinist, I just look at them and like, really? You didn't know who I was before. Mm-hmm. And I was a sad piece of shit before. And guess what? I got married being a sad piece of shit. I've got plenty of fucking pussy being a sad piece of shit. But as a man and who I wanted to be, I'll take being single with no girls and no relationship, no LTR, because apparently guys these days are so caught up on LTRs that you got to show proof of LTRs or some shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, it's getting fucking crazy. It's almost as if like they jump from one extreme to the other. Like if you have girlfriends, or you chasing pussy, you're not chasing your purpose. And then if you do have a girlfriend, you just you can't be red pill, and you got a relationship. What the fuck is that about? It's like it's always gonna be somebody that's gonna talk shit about your situation because they don't have a situation for themselves to deal with. So they got enough time to follow you and tell you what's wrong with your shit. But I digress because
we're actually doing a segment on that coming very soon about being able to stand alone and how hard it is to compare yourself to other people. So stay tuned for that segment. But that spoke to a lot of it. That sounds like something when we talk about frustrations that you and I have in the red pill community. That sounds like one of your frustrations is like we've always got all these guys out there in the ether that are like, oh, really? I mean, you're so red pill. You know so much about women. You don't even have a girlfriend. And then when you do have a girlfriend, how can you be red pill? It's like you can't win.
You're never
for losing.
Well, it's the thing. You'll never satisfy everybody. So stop trying.
Yeah,
and
start satisfying yourself.
Well, that's the only self that matters. Like anytime you're happy, that's it. Ball game. And you continue to say, you know what? How can I make myself even more happy? Like that's what you stack up. You don't stack up how many bitches I can get, how many bitches I can get to fuck me. You don't stack up how much money I can make from a company. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just stick to one thing. And, how they say diversify your portfolio. Like, you don't want to get caught with all your eggs in one basket.
Like having a rotation.
Right. So, you got to spread your happiness out. Like, hey, how can I be happy financially? How can I be happy at home? How can I be happy around my friends? How can I be happy hanging out by myself? How can I be happy with my clothing? How can I be happy with my health? It's you have enough to focus on yourself to not have to worry about what the fuck anybody else is trying to make you fit in for. Like well, Wes or Anthony, how come you don't be more nice to these women? You're calling them bitches.
Yeah.
And you're
we talked about that on the phone this week.
Yeah. You're calling them bitches? You should just be nicer. I remember a friend not liking me using the term, and it's just like, fuck it, man.
Using the term bitch, right?
Yeah, using the term bitch.
Yeah.
And so I'll wait that for another segment, but it's so many times where you're going to get challenged as a man as to, because anytime you hit a point when you're happy, somebody's going to challenge you and say, are you really happy? And you're going to have to defend it because they're going to make you seem like you're not actually happy. You're just saying you're happy to make me feel like I ain't happy.
Right. Now, the reason I busted out laughing is because I was remembering something that you said. And don't worry. We'll be repeating this over 30 or 40 podcasts. But what were the exact words you used? Because someone said, someone comes at Anthony and says, why do you have to curse so much? And you didn't bat an eyelash. What did you say? Like, because I think curse words are amazing. What did you say specifically?
No, I said because I love cuss words.
Because I love them.
I love them, yeah. Because I love them.
Because I love them. I love curse words.
I said it feels like velvet on my tongue. Like this, it just feels good coming out. Like
I don't know if I've ever heard anything more alpha than that. Like,
I love it, man.
Like you've heard the Rollo Tomasi talk about the Alpha Buddha. I mean, just not batting an eyelash and just owning up to because I think curse words are amazing.
I love them, man.
I love them. I love curse words.
They're amazing.
Yeah, and it's a way for someone to kind of, start missing the forest for the trees because, well, why can't you make this coaching more palatable? Because I fucking don't want to.
If anybody told us was to come into the comment section and say, I would enjoy your podcast better if you use less cuss words, I'll say, well, then don't listen to my fucking podcast.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would tell them. Hey, well, don't listen because there's no way I'm going to be able to express myself freely and enjoy what I do having to worry about your fucking feelings.
And go anywhere on planet Earth for any walk of life. You never get to tell your coach, let's just say you're an NFL player. You can't go to your coach and be like, coach, now listen, I know you're very good at this. But the way you're coming across, I would play better at this game if you would not end sentences and prepositions. Because I'm an English Nazi. I'm an English Nazi, and it's going to distract me every time. Motherfucker, you came to me to get better at this shit.
Right.
You came to me. So when I leave you with a bag of balls and golf clubs and tell you swing away, and I come back and you've got a mallet smashing watermelons, and you look at me all weird because I'm frustrated. Looking at me all weird because I'm frustrated. Please don't. And I'm here to tell you guys, this is way better. Me doing a segment over this is way better than what this guy behind me would do if you did this shit to him. Because Anthony wouldn't come on here and rant about it and be like, hey, guys, this is me saying, hey, guys, get your shit together. Come on, let's go. This is me trying to be a good coach. This gentleman back here on this podcast, he wouldn't say a goddamn thing to you. He would just be like, well, I told him what to do. Yeah.
Look, man.
Now he's over there smashing watermelons with a mallet. I don't know what you can't teach stupid.
Well, I'm about to say, I was going to say, hey, man, live your life, bro. Live your life. I don't get in the way of shit like this, man. Like, my thing is, you know how the fucking evolution, man. Like, when the people that's going to survive will survive, right? And
here I am trying to save everybody. I'm like,
you remind me of this character on the show. You saw me watching the 100 on Netflix.
Yeah.
And you remind me of a character on there, and like always trying to save everybody, and people still die. So it's like, you trying to do this, but guess what? Like, you never get to accomplish what you're trying to.
Come on, Anthony. We can save one more. One of these guys will get a rotation going, Anthony. Please. You just don't let go yet.
I was like, you go about it. You can go about it whatever way you want. You will get frustrated, though. So my thing is, listen, there's a plan for you to be better than who you were yesterday. How you get there is up to you. I can show you, but I can't take you. You know what I mean? So there's going to be doors. They're going to be, hey, I can tell you all the obstacles that you're going to come across. But you're not going to believe me because you're going to be like, you know what? I don't really have to go through that because there's a shortcut right here. Why don't I just do that? And then you're going to be like, man, I got this problem. And I said, hey, did you climb that wall over there that I told you to climb? And,
No, man.
no, man.
I didn't get to it.
That was a ditch. I just went through the ditch because fuck that wall. And then I was like, all right, man, because on the top of the wall was the answer to what you needed. Once you climbed that wall, you would have saw that, oh, I must need this. This not here just it's left just for me. I learned something climbing this wall. And then when you learn something climbing down the fucking wall that you climb. And so there are things that we are telling you that may seem hard, or they may seem like too tedious, or you know what, I ain't got to do all that. And then you get down the road and you still got questions. You know what I'm saying? You still have issues to work out because you took shortcuts or you didn't believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't believe what it took to get to where you want to be. And that's fine. That's part of learning. I asked you this question before, Wesley. I was like, you know what? Are we doing people a disservice by not allowing them to fail?
You beat me to it. I've been sitting over here on it. And I was like, man, this is the eternal question that you keep asking. Mm-hmm. Are we doing people a disservice by telling them, hey, there's 10 landmines out there? Or should we just let them walk out there and blow them up?
That used to be a good game on
Metal Gear?
No. Remember the little
Minesweeper?
Minesweeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're bored at work.
Right. When we just didn't have any other options, like all the amazing games on your phone now.
Yeah.
But you know, we probably appreciate those badass games on our phone because what you and I used to have, we just fucking had Minesweeper and
right.
fucking Solitaire.
Yeah.
Like,
or the fucking the little snake worm that would have to eat and not eat itself.
Right. We appreciate these new games because we went through the pain of having these really, really shitty games. I mean, you can always tell somebody's age.
Right.
Whenever I'll always make this joke when someone comes through my door and my dog doesn't bark, and I go, and my dog's name is Tank, and I'll always make the reference. I'll be like, look at Tank over there fucking playing solitaire. You know, and if you're an older person that used to play solitaire at work and you're fucking off at work, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Younger people now, they don't get that reference at all. You know, but it's a great question, Anthony. Are we doing people a disservice by trying to, like, make them avoid? I mean, this is what we go through with our children, right?
Yeah.
We want them to have the same grit. This is a very philosophical question, right?
Yeah.
We want them to have the same grit as us. But we don't want them to go through all the shit.
Yeah, the pain and shit.
But it almost seems like
they need
you kind of got to go through the pain to become tough, right?
Yeah. I don't want my son to fall and scrape his knee. But he got to learn that every time he falls, that ain't the end of his life.
Yeah.
He ain't got to cry every time he falls. Hey, get up. Don't cry, get up. Or it's not that fucking bad. But I'm bleeding. And it'll heal. Keep playing. If you still want to play, go play. If you're going to cry, let's go home. And then he makes the decision like, nah, I'm having fun. All right, you take your ass back out there. I'm not going to tell him to rub dirt in it, but I'm going to say, take your ass back out there. You know, you'll figure it out when we get home.
You and I were talking about the NBA this week. And we were making a reference to, you know, this show's based out of Houston. And we were talking about James Harden.
Yeah.
And you and I came to this conclusion of we always wondered what it would be like when all these kids were playing sports and they all got a trophy. What would this look like when they all became adults? Right? James Harden, for those of you that don't know, is a star of the Houston Rockets. And he it's just kind of funny the way I describe it. I'm not exaggerating. The Houston Rockets offered, was it $102 million?
Yeah.
$102 million. And he said, hey, thanks, but no thanks. I'm focusing on getting traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, guys, to get traded to the Brooklyn Nets, the Rockets would have to do that. Not James Harden doesn't own the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. He doesn't own the Houston Rockets. But he had the audacity to be like, yeah, I appreciate all the millions and millions of dollars that you've given me, but I kind of don't appreciate it because I just want to fucking leave because here in Houston, I'm not getting a trophy. And you almost kind of get the sense he's like, hey, I need you guys to trade me. I don't care what you guys get. I don't care if you guys are, completely hung out to dry on what you get for me. I'm trying to get a championship. And if you could you guys cut me a check for the airfare up to Brooklyn too when I leave? Just whatever. And this is what a generation looks like when all kids got a trophy. They're angry when they don't get one. To the tune of LeBron James is not loyal or beholden to any city or any franchise. He just travels around the league to the team that gives him the best opportunity to win a championship, right?
Yeah.
And so when does he have 4 championships or 5? In my book, he only has 1 in Cleveland. But does he have 4?
I think he has 2 in Miami, 1 in Cleveland, 1 in L.A.
Yeah, so if he gets a 5th,
I'm not sure.
If he gets a 5th, in his mind, he's like, yeah, me and Michael Jordan, #same. No, motherfucker. Michael Jordan built that franchise, had a whole city on his shoulders, never played in any other uniform. And Michael Jordan had tough times early in his career. Remember that shit? Remember he couldn't get past the Pistons? And he literally would go lift weights and transform his body to be able to handle those hacking ass Pistons. Like this motherfucker was just you gave him an obstacle, overcome it. Another obstacle, overcome it. Oh, hey, you guys got to deal with Larry Bird. Okay, I got to figure out how to beat Larry Bird. Now I got to figure out how to beat Magic Johnson. Now I got to figure out I'm not going in the right order here because the Pistons came before Magic. But this was a man that inspired other people because he saw an obstacle and he did whatever it took to overcome it. LeBron James just switches teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, can't beat the Pistons? Time to move to the West. You know what I'm saying? That's not guys, that's not how you can run your life. I mean, LeBron's doing it. But he's the top .0056 most talented athlete on planet fucking Earth. No, most of us have to do how MJ did it. And that's why LeBron James will never be compared to Michael Jordan because LeBron James doesn't inspire people. Hired guns, mercenaries, they don't inspire people, guys. And you guys got to start, when we start talking about this red pill knowledge, you got to start thinking about not just yourself, but you got to start thinking about the people around you, which is why this podcast was born, right?
Yeah.
What is our legacy going to be? Are we going to help men understand the challenges that they face and help them navigate their life to just a happier you? That's our only goal, guys. You don't have to have the hottest chick on the block. You don't have to. This isn't a We Hate Women podcast. This isn't a Women Suck podcast. This is about you getting to your happiest self. And that's why it frustrates the living shit out of me when you guys just won't sit there with your bag of clubs and your basket of balls and just hit it down range like I fucking told you to do it. Yes, you're going to slice. You're going to not hit out of your shadow. But guys, this is where you have to start. Where we're telling you to start. Get your bag of clubs, get your basket of balls, and just hit it out into the fucking range until you develop the skill of what we think is going to make your life happy. Did I nail it, Anthony? I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, when we come back and you're just smashing watermelons like Gallagher, and you haven't even touched the clubs, the basket of balls is still sitting there, and you're like, "Hey, got another question for you. When we're playing a links course, and the fairways are a lot faster, it's like, motherfucker, you haven't even started hitting a golf ball yet. Why the fuck are you asking me all these complex questions, bogging me the fuck down?" I feel like I should have a turkey leg in my hand right now. Well, this does feel like the awkward Thanksgiving dinner now.
There he goes, Wesley rant.
Yeah, here we go, Wesley beating the desk.
No, I was thinking about when you said that about the golf ball.
It's easy to sum it up when you just talk about practice. We sitting here, we a franchise player, and we in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice, not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Oh. There you go. Straight out of Newport News, Virginia. Allen Iverson. It's like, and we talking about practice. That's what it reminds me of. I need you guys to start playing more games and quit talking about
practice. Facts.
I mean, nobody is on the PGA Tour right now. Nobody's on the PGA Tour right now because they read the most books about golf. And they know all the answers whenever you ask them a question. Hey, what's the fourth hole at Augusta? Like, oh, well, yeah, I can draw you out. The trees are right here. Nobody fucking became a golf pro because they read a shit ton of books about fucking golf. God damn it. Damn it. I want you guys to get out and live. Come to me with rotation questions that are not hypothetical. How about that? Yeah, no more hypothetical questions, guys. At this Thanksgiving dinner, that's what we're talking about this year at Thanksgiving. No more hypothetical questions.
This message was presented to you by the Wesley Foundation.
I'm Wesley Page, and I approve this message.
Letting all you know, there will be no more questions.
That's what I'm going to do. That's my resolution for 2021, Anthony. I'm fielding no hypothetical questions. You have to ask me a question about something you're going through in your life. Yeah, Wes, but when I get to 5 girls, I mean, I don't know. That just sounds like a lot. How many girls are you dating right now? 0. Motherfucker. Why are you asking me about dating 5 girls?
5?
When you don't even have 2.
We talking about 5?
You're talking about practice. You talking about practice?
You ain't even got 2.
Not a game. No shit. How about get to 5, and then let me field this question. No more hypotheticals, guys. Yeah. And you know what? I want to give a sincere apology to Gallagher if he's listening. We're not dogging on you smashing watermelons with mallets. You do your thing, man. That was funny shit back in the 70s, apparently. Motherfucker made a lot of money doing that shit. But, and you guys can go ahead and hashtag this now. Gallagher is not golf. There's the hashtag. Gallagher is not golf. You're welcome for that. Let's get that trending. Hashtag no hypothetical questions.
Practice.
You guys are going to drive me insane with the hypothetical questions.
Don't ask anymore, so I don't have to.
So, because I will not be fielding them. And now I go through the self-pity. I'm like, am I being too hard on these guys now? God damn it.
Well, every time you...
All right, I'll field some hypothetical questions. All right.
It was like, every time you spank your kid, you go back and say, now, look, I love you now. Okay?
Right.
I didn't want to do that. Daddy love you, though. So, just don't do that shit no more.
Now I finally know what it means when they say it. This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you.
Yeah.
But I need you guys to get your rotations going before you start asking me rotation questions. Before you start asking me what size spark plug goes in the car, you need to at least have lifted the hood first. Because otherwise, my blood is going to be on your hands. You guys are going to kill me with stress. You're going to kill me. And I'm not even kidding. You know what I should have come prepared with? All the questions I get asked about rotations from guys that don't have rotations.
Damn.
I should have had a list here and just rattled them off, because I promise you it would have been so easy. Well, what if I find a girl that likes to do doggy style only, and another girl that only likes? I'm like, okay, is this real? Well, no, but I mean, if it happens, motherfucker, will you just get your rotation going for the love of Christ? Damn. Anthony, anything that frustrates you as we finish out this segment? I feel like this has been therapeutic for me.
Good.
Because now I can refer back to this later when the hypotheticals get asked. But
Okay. Go see podcasts and don't ask me this shit no more. No, I don't have anything specifically at the top of my head. Yeah, I don't have anything. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have a rant to give.
this was a one-sided rant today. This is a one-sided rant. I was telling a friend that whenever you get on to someone, it's like you get victimized twice. Howard Stern, which probably the greatest radio show ever. One of his writers, Benji, would be late like every day, and he'd finally like blow up on the air. Like, God damn it, Benji. So you're going to make me fire you, and then I'm going to feel bad about firing you because you're not going to have a job. You're going to fucking lose your house and shit. Like, why don't you just fucking show up to work on time? And then he gets done with the rant, and he's like, fuck. Now I feel all bad for yelling at him. It's just, that's how I feel right now. The guys are like, what? I'm sorry for asking hypothetical questions, Wes. You didn't have to blow me up on a whole segment. And the fact is, I didn't blow you up. But you know who you are out there. You know who you are. Easy fix. Get your rotation started. And by the way, don't send me this question either. What if you want to take a little time off from dating? You know how to get really good at golf? Take some time off from playing golf. That's how you get good at golf, right, Anthony?
Nah.
Take a little break from golf.
Nah.
No.
I mean, sometimes you'll find out that this ain't for you, though. And that can be okay as well. Whatever makes you happy, that's what's important. It's not what's gonna, make you content or Wesley make me content or Wesley content. It's about what makes you happy individually. That's what matters.
We just had a question in the, and I've got my phone recording. We just had a question from someone who's asking a hypothetical.
Oh shit!
To be funny, will you check and see what it is real quick? Because I only got a glimpse of it. And he says sarcastically,
what if I meet a girl that can't suck my dick and doggy style at the same time?
Yeah, what am I going to do? Well, how many girls are you dating right now? Well, I mean, none right now. But, I mean, if this happens, motherfucker. What if I'm on the last hole?
That's a good vetting question. Like, hey, so let's discuss real shit now. Can you suck my dick and do doggy style? And if not, I'm gonna say we're gonna go halfsies on this date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever threatened not to pay for a meal based on a reaction on the date? Like that would be so funny to me to watch some satire comedy where somebody was like, yeah, so I was thinking that, a little head later and, a little doggy style.
Yeah.
Probably a little on the couch action, maybe the balcony if you're feeling frisky. And then she was like, well, oh my gosh, I don't do that. This is the first day. He was like, oh, well, you did have lobster, so that's going to kind of cost you. That look like that's going to cost you.
It's like, just go ahead and start the bartering early. No, I haven't done that, but I have told you that I've walked out on a date when a girl started bragging that she's not touchy-feely. I'm like, what the fuck I want to be around you for then?
Nobody wants
I don't want to get touchy-feely with my guy friends. You dumb bitch. I'm just not a touchy-feely person.
What, man, listen, I feel you on that. I had that. That's a vetting question, so I was with someone, we decided to go out, and she said, I'm not really touchy-feely, but maybe with the right person, right? Yeah. So I said, okay, and I told her, I said, if I'm not the right person, I'm gonna leave your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done. Like, if I ain't that guy, I don't want to stick around and be the guy that's not gonna get touched. I don't want to be that guy. So, she was kind of negotiating a little bit too, kind of trying to.
You're so nice.
Get me to like, trying to get me to like still stick with the event if I don't get to. Cause I said, cause listen, I'm gonna tell you something. If I like you, and based on your photos, I think I will. When I get around you, I'm gonna probably not be able to control myself. You know what I'm saying? So
your level of seduction is so much better than mine, and it always has been. By the way, even in my seduction prime, yours is so much better than mine. Because immediately when that girl said that just now, my hair bristled. Because what she said was, well, I'm not touchy-feely, but with the right person, I could be. Immediately how I translated that in my mind was, I've got to rise to some standard for her to treat me just regular, how I want to be treated. But maybe with the right person, if you're a real go-getter, if I approve of you,
yeah,
then I might come up to this minimum fucking standard.
It's a shit test to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll play your game, but it's still gonna be my rules. You know what I mean? Like, let's play the game. Let's play this game, but my rules still exist.
Yeah.
So just because you have a standard, bitch, I got my own. So if I play this game with you and you don't plan to where I get benefits as well, no, I'll quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to have. You don't get to get my time just because you want it, right?
I was going to say, you don't just get to get my time. Like, on a maybe, I'll be touchy-feely.
Right. Because
if maybe, you're already coming out of the gate on a maybe.
But guess what? But guess what happened throughout the whole day? She couldn't keep her hands off me, right?
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah. So
this was definitely a shit test.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, if you fight through a lot of that bullshit with, like, okay, you have rules, I heard you, but I have standards. So you're not the only one with fucking with stances here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to allow you to dictate to terms this whole process, and then I gotta like that. Then you will have to come and meet to her standards. No, as soon as she give you one, you give her one right back.
And see, guys, this is the type of stuff, like Anthony just pointed out. This is the kind of stuff we would rather coach you on.
Facts,
not hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Anthony, right? I mean, just snap a finger. Anthony comes out with a very specific story. It really fucking happened. Like, this is what she did. This is how I handled it. Not, well, okay, but let's just say you're dating 3 girls and you meet 4 girls at once. So now you're at 7, and you guys already told me that dating 6 girls at once is almost unmanageable. I mean, what would I do in that? Man, motherfucker, when you get to that situation, give us a call.
And another thing too, man, don't try to figure out if something is a shit test, because like what Wesley said, it was a shit test. Well, I didn't know it was a shit test until I got to deal with her.
That's very. Hold on, that bears repeating. Sometimes you don't know it's a shit test until afterwards,
right?
Because clearly that bitch is touchy-feely.
Yes.
So why'd she even say that?
Because, you know why? Because these bitches got so many different defenses they have to put up, but they don't want to seem like off-putting you. They don't want to put you off as far as like make you feel like, well, fuck it, I don't want to go with you. You ain't gonna be, touch. It's like you ain't. Because basically, touchy-feely to her was like, I'm gonna slide my fingers up a fucking skirt type of deal.
Yeah.
But touchy-feely for me is just holding your hand, hugging you, kissing your neck, you know what I'm saying? Like, dancing with you on the sidewalk as we walk into the fucking restaurant or store. Anything that's able to make me put my hands around your waist or your back or touch your hair, anything like that. That's touchy-feely to me. For her, it probably was a step past that.
Yeah.
where it's sexual in nature,
Broad term,
right?
right? Yeah.
So instead of her asking for details, she just said, "Well, I'm gonna take my stance on what this is, and then beyond that, if I get uncomfortable, I'm gonna have to let you know that that's not what I want to do." But it was about being touchy-feely on the first date more afterwards. Because I even told her, I started messing with her. I was like, well, a person that's not touchy-feely, man, you pretty fucking touchy-feely. But I like it. I'm not complaining about it at all. She was like, well, I didn't want to give you the wrong impression that I'm just easy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's not what touchy-feely is. Like,
Right. Touchy-feely to her was, I'm not easy.
right.
Specifically, the girl that I was talking about, I had my arm around her on this date. Because we were standing at a bar. And
Did you know her up front, or you just met her?
we had talked a few times on the phone.
Okay.
It was a first date.
Okay, so this not
Yeah.
somebody you just met.
No.
Okay.
No. We had talked a few times on the phone. It was a first date. Gorgeous girl, too. Physically, I mean. Beyond physical, not great. But had my arm around her. And she starts saying that I'm not touchy-feely. And I'm like, well, similar to what you just said. I'm like, wow, you've let me have my arm around you all night. And this is where Wesley hits the eject lever. She goes, yeah, I've been letting you get away with that. This is where Wesley went to the restroom and never returned. Yeah. Did I pay for my drinks? Is probably the next question. Hypothetically, no. She paid for my drinks. I only had 2. It was 2 beers. But she then, whoa, calls me. Where'd you go? I was like, I wasn't feeling it. Thanks for the beers, though.
Question in the Discord. Oh, not a question, but a comment. He's like, one of his favorite questions he likes to ask when vetting is, how spontaneous are you?
See, and this is seduction level. This is a higher level of seduction level. You have a lot of these one-liners that are great because it forces women to do something that they don't do a lot.
Yeah.
Which is think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrice O'Neal has said this.
The way you say shit, bro, like that shit be catching me off guard sometimes. I be like,
Patrice O'Neal has said this famously. It's like women are just like fish. They just kind of do shit.
yeah.
We don't really know why they're doing but it's when you have that level of seduction where you can ask those types of questions.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not just kissing your ass when I say this. Your level of seduction has always been better than mine because you sit around and you think about this shit. And guys, we were talking about golf the whole segment here.
Well, I've been through those situations.
Yeah.
And I fucked up, right? So now I gotta go back and think about, damn, how did I fuck that up?
What could I have said?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of times too, when you're, when you talk about you're zen, like when you're in the zone, like it's easy to, you know what? I know how I'm gonna lead the conversation later because, like, let's say she's really touchy feely. Like, this is one of the things I do when I go out on dates. I sit right next to her. I don't do the across the table interview type of dates.
That's a good way to put it. It's kind of like an interview. Right?
Yeah. I get right next to her, and if she's uncomfortable with that, then she's not the right one for me, and I'll end the date right there. I'll end it, and I'm fine with that. I have no problem not having to deal with a bitch who don't want me next to her. So if I get next to her and she's the grabby, touchy, and snuggle up under me type, and she's enjoying being near me like that, I know I can escalate. You know what I'm saying? She's enjoying herself. She's happy to be there. She's not only happy, she's ecstatic, right? I'm looking to escalate because if she's this excited on some normal shit, let me take her on another level, show her another level of myself, right? And see just how excited she could be, and let's see if we're actually on the same level mentally. And when I do, rarely come across those women, man, that's like a fucking that's the dates that like I enjoy the most. Because again, when I'm on dates, man, I'm out to make myself happy. I'm not there for her benefit. I asked her out because I want to see if she matches me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to look, man. Yes, I targeted her. I asked her out, but she's out with me. I don't have to impress her for shit. She's out with me. She said yes to me already. So whatever I want in that moment while I'm with her, that's what she's exposed to. If I want to, let's say I want to have a good time that night, and I say, hey, look, I'm feeling, like, you know how sometimes you go out, it's like, you know what, man, I want to spend a little money tonight.
Yeah. I want to live it up tonight.
But you just in the moment, right?
Yeah.
It's not, I'm trying to do this for her. It's just, it's how I feel. I want to, you know what, yeah, hey, what's the best drink you got in here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You chatting up the bartender, the owner.
By the way, you did this last time we were out. You came back with the Whistle Pig 10. No bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm just pointing out to our audience, Anthony's not bullshitting you here.
Yeah.
This is how he is when he's out with me.
Yeah. But and that's what I'm saying. I'm not there to impress no bitch. It's just how I feel in the moment, right? So that's how you should live your life. When you stop living your life for others, it's going to be so much easier for you to do this shit, and it's going to be natural to you. It's going to feel natural to her, and you don't have to be in your mind about, do she think I'm cheap? Do she think I'm trying to impress her, or is she being impressed? And,
am I checking this box?
right.
Am I checking
and
that box?
now you there for her and not yourself. So that's very important, guys. So
and it's also very important too. If you guys want this to sound more palatable, it's also important too, guys. If you want a woman to get to know you, know who you are, and know what you're about, go do shit that you're about. Go do shit that you like. When we were talking about getting physical, and you were talking with the whole touchy-feely thing,
yeah.
I don't want to forget, and I wrote down a note to myself, I don't want to forget to mention to you guys, do not forget during the seduction process, do not forget that sometimes women just want the ability to say no.
Yep.
One time, and have you respect the no, and then you can advance, because now she feels safe that if she ever gets out into deep waters with you and she's uncomfortable, she feels safe. I told him no before. Now later in the date, we're doing physical shit, but she knows she has the ability to say no if she gets uncomfortable.
Facts.
Yeah, and because Anthony and I used to do this thing, I think we've talked about this in the podcast many times. We used to do this thing where if a woman said no to us on a date, if we went in physically, we would do this thing where we'd be like, oh, well, I'm different. I'm a different type of guy. For the rest of the date, I won't pursue anything physical. No, man, she's just not comfortable right now. She may not get comfortable later. But she may get comfortable later. No means no right now. And you can make women, when it comes to physical touch and things like that, you can make women feel a lot more safe if you allow them to say no and you respect it. And stuff like that. Anthony sends me a note over. And Anthony is right. We are bleeding over. We're not too bad. We only did an hour 8 on this. Like I said, guys, stay tuned for more in season 2 of the Red Pill Phone Tap. We're going to be shortening segments so that you guys can go back and look at specific topics that we covered. We're always going to ramble on when it comes to the specifics of dating.
Right.
Because anytime I feel like Anthony can give you guys specific stories about what's going on out in the dating world, especially during COVID, when this does not look like it normally looks, I want you guys to be able to get that knowledge. That'll probably be in every episode, by the way. But we wanted to let you know in this segment, guys, what makes us frustrated with you. And I think the conclusion we came to is no more hypothetical questions. I think that's the way you guys can keep me sane and not losing my mind, is no more hypothetical questions. What the questions I want from you guys moving forward, because we gotta transcend, right, guys? We gotta eventually move to another level. Anthony and I don't want to keep you on just the same level like some of these other people in the some people in the Red Pill community want to keep you dependent on them for all your shit.
Yeah.
We actually want you to get out of your cocoon and become a butterfly and transcend. So, guys, when you're asking us questions moving forward, ask us about shit you're dealing with in your life, not hypotheticals. And I think we can all be friends, and we can meet again next Thanksgiving and have turkey. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some more segments for you guys. Hopefully, a lot more content as well. And we will see you guys again on the next episode of the Red Pill Phone Tap.
Peace.